Authentic power emerges not from constant visibility, but from strategic withdrawal and the depth of expression that becomes possible through intentional solitude. Frank Ocean's approach to visibility and creative expression, it demonstrates powerful evidence of what happens when we shift from constant connection to intentional solitude. His 4-year retreat after Channel Orange, selective social media presence, and independent release of Blonde reveals what spiritual traditions call strategic withdrawal, which is the understanding that our impact expands when we prioritize depth over frequency, quality over quantity. So if you consider his revolutionary approach to Blonde, creating the album in deliberate seclusion rather than the typical collaborative studio environment with constant industry feedback, rather than maintaining visibility through regular releases and features, he withdrew to create work of unprecedented depth and authenticity. So this approach, focusing on internal alignment rather than external expectations, resulted in creating what many critics consider one of the most significant albums of the decade, despite its unconventional release strategy. So if you reflect on your own relationship with withdrawal versus visibility, have you experienced how constant connection often creates shallow expression, while strategic solitude creates unexpected depth? Have you noticed how your most significant contributions often come through periods of deliberate withdrawal rather than constant engagement? What wisdom might become available if you recognize that authentic influence comes through depth of expression rather than frequency of visibility? What makes this approach spiritually significant is how it illuminates the relationship between solitude and impact. Frank's decision to release Blonde independently after leaving Def Jam demonstrates what wisdom traditions call autonomous expression. So creating from internal alignment rather than internal expectation. So even when this approach contradicts conventional wisdom about success. So if you think about your relationship with constant connection, might be limiting your impact. If you think about how your relationship with constant connection might be limiting your impact. Do you find yourself creating for immediate validation rather than authentic expression? Have you noticed how your attachment to constant visibility creates fragmentation that actually restricts your depth? And what might change if you approach your work as expression rather than as expression of internal clarity, I should say, rather than a response to an external expectation? So this pattern connects to ancient wisdom, ancient spiritual understanding about the relationship between solitude and power. From desert fathers who retreated from society to find deeper truth, to Thera's deliberate withdrawal, to Walden Pond wisdom paths have long recognized what modern connection culture often forgets. That authentic power emerges not from constant visibility, but from the depth and clarity that becomes possible only through intentional solitude. Even the psychology of creativity supports this wisdom. We've got research shows that constant connection creates cognitive fragmentation that diminishes creative depth. So when we engage in strategic withdrawal, we participate in what psychologists call incubation phase, the essential period of unconscious processing that precedes genuine innovation. So Frank's approach to visibility and creative expression, it reveals us a spiritual truth that might transform your approach to connection. Authentic power emerges not from constant visibility, but from strategic withdrawal, and that depth of expression that becomes possible only through intentional solitude. As spiritual teacher Henry Nouwen notes, solitude is the furnace of transformation. What impact might become possible if you released your attachment to constant connection and embraced strategic withdrawal as pathway to deeper expression?